In the aftermath of its sacrifice, the begetter fell from the stars. Its life-giving trees rotted into a cold bramble. Putrid seeds erupted from its dead maw, signaling the advent of our unending darkness, the caging of our skies. You awaken in a dark room upon a cold slab. A strange hooded figure looms over you. Arise, my masterpiece. The puppeteer's words make you rise, both of you bound in red twine. You are a marionette, and your journey begins now. Bramble by Luke Baker, who did both story and artwork, is a new lore game book published by Holopress. Big surprise. It tells the story of a marionette, a wood construct with an intrinsic urge for creating life, to journey with white flame lantern in hand to the center of a sacred tree, to its core, and burn it all. Or at least, that's the command your creator has given. Slowly, with each step, the marionette continues, and we see that this world was likely once much like our own, now laid to ruin by the effects of this eldritch bramble. Warped people and creatures lurk just out of sight, and quickly the marionette is faced with a task requiring its urge. A core mechanic in this would-be game is the crafting of amalgamoids. Using limbs, dead matter, and organs, your trusty dismemberment kit, and some sacred red twine, you are able to combine these parts together to sow new life. The screenshots with pixelated effects and, I'd hazard to say, rendered backgrounds with 3D with textures are great. The most game medium artwork seen in lore game books so far, I'd say, which I actually really enjoy, and it's done really well here. Your first creation is crude and used merely to help the marionette overcome an obstacle before it is left to rot. The existential dread of uncertainty if your Frankenstein creation still lives, thinks, and or suffers in eternal life as you leave it is an excellent addition to the whole concept. The story of Bramble is one of cycles of creation and discarding. Who is discarded, but also who defines themselves and their own value against that they were given. Pushing onwards, the marionette encounters stranger faces, bizarrer people with odd tales or requests. Their travels also bring questions on what lies beyond, not only the city where they were made, but in the skies above, as what appears to be a spaceship lies broken and damaged in a dark alley. Further still, collecting new recipes of amalgamoids to better face the world's challenges, the marionette eventually reaches the core, the center of the world, but not before facing a familiar face. I really like Bramble. It's got a nice story and has those story elements in terms of pacing that I really liked about Vermis 2. Not as deep, of course, but what Bramble manages to do is intrigue in a multitude of ways. Peppered through are clues of what the world was, but also secrets as to what lies ahead about you and the marionettes and the seeds. This information is presented like secret areas you'd find, and I like seeing the world in a first-person perspective with these renders, while experiencing the story in third person through the artwork. An example here is the Botanist's Shack, which holds research and information about a creature that bears a striking resemblance to the cloaked puppeteer that made you. We also see humans, whose existence suggests everything here was warped or changed, altered into some hideous version, and that someone or something that remains is desperately trying to recreate what was. Humans, people, and the sky being visible once more. The book has multiple endings, which I won't spoil, but Bramble does feel like there's enough there to get stuck into speculating about the world and what happened to it, but also how the game itself might function. I could see Bramble being like a Lunacid style game really easily. As far as those thoughts and speculations go, what was the begetter and why did its creations rot? Life-giving trees turned to sour and sharp. Bramble suggests the begetter began or still is good, but something changed. The book isn't as long or dense as Vermis or Mock Soul in terms of dialogue and some of its descriptions, but its visual storytelling, almost like a black and white comic suddenly splashed with color, sets it apart in a really pleasant way. There's also a simple yet detailed style to Luke Baker's artwork that I find really interesting. At times I find it odd in a way I can't quite define, and then others it's perfect for the subject matter at hand, especially the amalgamoids. The graphic design of the page is also very commendable and works really well with the artwork. Overall, Bramble is a tale we are familiar with. Cycles repeating, defying the will of others for ourselves, or accepting a fate we have been given or found. Yet, it also creates a world, a surface to explore, with red twine that creates unlife, UFOs from beyond with unknown technology, and a warped dead god in a once human world now mutated beyond recognition. I'd recommend this book if you like the art style and are looking for a shorter read than something like Vermis. Just as fun to get into, but it's a nicer kind of afternoon. Also, it's great for NPCs. This book shines and kind of focuses on its weirdo people, which I really admire. I think TTRPG heads might really enjoy that. Anyway, check it out. Thank you so much. And I've been Haunted Picnic, and I'll see you all next time.